Hey y'all, it's Josh here Reviews. So I mentioned it in a few of my last reviews of a movie I like to call House of Fears. Now I want to explain something really quick. This movie, you can watch it on YouTube for free, and you can check it out on Prime Video. I think even Tubi for free. But my mom bought this for me on eBay a few years ago. If you want to own House of Fears on DVD, this cost $40. So anyways, House of Fears, it is essentially about this woman who owns this haunted house for Halloween. She finds a statue, I think in Africa? Yeah, I think it's Africa. And she brings this statue, this creepy looking statue to the haunt. I don't know, there's like a prop or something. And one of the workers there decides to invite his friends and a few other group of kids, or, teenagers, young adults, to go inside the haunt and basically just get a sneak peek before they open up next week. Unfortunately, they touch the statue, and the statue brings their fears to life. So one of them is afraid of, claustrophobia, so they're locked in a box. One is afraid of clowns. One is afraid of scarecrows, because she saw this person, the main character, Sam. She saw her father die, and up above his corpse was a scarecrow, and she got terrified. She froze up. Another person's afraid of, suffocating, electricity, or basically getting shocked. There's a wide variety of fears. And I gotta be honest, guys, I really fucking dug this film. I saw this film back in 2011 when it was on Netflix, and I loved the shit out of it. This was my guilty pleasure, and I have since shown it to several friends who have enjoyed it. And it becomes a tradition for me. I watch it every year, and it's a blast watching. There are some flaws, and I will get into that in just a second, but I want to talk about the pros. So the pros. First of all, I love the concept. The concept's cool. It's great. I feel like everything that they set out to do is well utilized. The fears are well executed, besides maybe one. I think that was the electricity. I felt like it was kind of underwhelming, but it was whatever. I gotta be honest. I liked the characters in this. I liked all the characters. I thought they were all well diverse. They all worked well with each other. Sure, the dialogue is nothing to write home about. It's the stereotypical teenage dialogue talking about, let's kiss and make out. Let's have, not sex, it's PG. This movie's essentially PG-13, even though it doesn't have a rating on it. But it's like PG-13, yeah. So I think it was a made-for-TV film, but I have to look that up. I just realized this is not the house that's in the movie. This is not the house. They really need a new cover for this movie. I thought the characters were good. I thought the acting for the most part was good. It's a TV video. It's low budget, for the most part. They were able to actually buy a haunted house, I presume, like a haunted attraction to use for the film, and it's well utilized. The location's very cool. You get to see different rooms. At times, it can feel a little low budget because there are parts where they break through and go through the areas that where the crew can walk through. At times, it feels like they just kind of filmed in a hallway. So that part feels a little low budget. Everything else though is great. You see the house, you see them interacting with the monsters or their fears coming to life. The clown is fucking freaky. This is probably one of the freakiest looking clowns next to Art the Clown. And what was the other one? Not Pennywise, because Pennywise, he's freaky, but whatever. This clown, honest to God, is really freaky. And the Scarecrow is pretty cool. Another thing is that I think people who have reviewed this movie or seen it don't give it enough praise. The fucking opening is an absolute jam. The intro or the theme where it shows the wood and it shows like the directed by, produced by, and the credits. The opening credits, I love. This is like my second favorite opening to any film. No joke. I love that fucking opening credits. It's such a cool, unique concept. This movie's just a great concept, and I feel like it's well executed. Now, I do have some problems. I think first and foremost, if you're expecting high quality, if you're expecting the type of quality, like, fuck that cricket, damn, loud shit. If you're expecting the quality or like budget of Haunt from 2019, don't expect that. This is like a made-for-TV film, so it is going to be low budget at times. There are some times where you can see the budget kind of like, and where it shows, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of close-ups on some people's deaths. There's a lot of quick cuts. There's a lot of flashy editing to make it feel like, grand scale. I don't know what they tried to do, but it didn't work for me personally. There's a lot of flash cuts. The editing is probably the weakest part of this film. The editing is kind of ass. It's kind of ass, but it doesn't like distract from the movie. But you'll notice it when you watch it. You'll be like, ooh, that kind of stings. That kind of leaves a mark. I also don't think that we get to see the fears, like, I said that they're all well executed. You get to see them in action, do stuff, but the fears only like play a part for about like 5 to 10 minutes, right? Like the Scarecrow, it doesn't enter the film until like the 50-minute mark, and then throughout the rest of the film, it chases our main character. Which was fine, he's a menacing villain, and I like that. But the clown is in it for like 5 minutes. Electricity is like I said, briefly there. One guy has a fear of knives, and that was fine. Like his death was quick, so it didn't bother me. But some other fears, it's like I wanted to see them more utilized, or at the very least, I guess I wanted to see more like characters attacking our main protagonist. Like they're all likable, and I think they all do a good job. I want to see like something chase them, Like one's afraid of clowns, one's afraid of scarecrows, one has a fear of claustrophobia. So you have this grave or gatekeeper, this graveyard guy chasing them, trying to bury her in a box or a coffin. So it's like, okay, that's cool. So why can't you do something like that? Like maybe have a mad doctor who has shit with electricity chase our guy. Have fun with it, Have fun with it. And, it's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't bother me. Another thing, I think this movie, towards the last, 10 minutes, kind of drags. I think it's because it kind of starts to, you start to get worn out. Because they're no longer in the haunt, they're in the backstage area, where all the crew members walk, So it becomes a little stale and bland to look at. And for some people, you might find the characters annoying because they constantly talk about, they're planning stuff and it's constantly failing. And they gotta keep planning, and they keep talking to one another. So if you don't like that, you're not gonna like the characters. But I like the characters because I felt like for the most part, they made smart decisions and they worked well off each other. There wasn't anything that was done that was like, oh my god, just die, just please die, get this movie over with. Now, there's nothing in this film that made me scratch my head or want this film to be over with. I really dug this film, and it's a guilty pleasure. It's not anything great. It is low budget, but if you can work around the pros, what am I saying? I can't speak to that. If you can work around the cons, you're gonna have yourself a good time with this movie. I watch it every year. Get a group of friends and have some drinks. Like what I did. I drank Coca-Cola, not a beer, but you know what I mean. Just have a fun time with this. Watch it. It's good. I'm gonna give it a B+. I think because of the TV quality and low budget, I think it does I do think it kind of holds back from, it holds me back from giving it an A-. But, it's a good film. I'd check it out.